In the world of royalty, privacy is a currency more valuable than gold, and yet, it is also the most fragile treasure to protect. For Spain's King Felipe VI and Queen Letizia, this truth has just been tested in the most unexpected way. Only a few days ago, the royal couple, alongside their family, quietly stepped away from the spotlight to begin their private summer vacation. At 57 years old, King Felipe, who carries the weight of an entire monarchy on his shoulders, and Queen Letizia, the ever-stylish and formidable queen at 52, sought nothing more than to escape the relentless gaze of cameras and public opinion. Their plan was simple: slip away quietly, vanish into anonymity, and for once, be just a family, husband, wife, and parents, without the crown dictating every move. But in the age of 24-hour news cycles and a global media that can pierce even the thickest palace walls, such dreams rarely last. While the royal household, Casa made every effort to keep their summer destination a closely guarded secret, determined to shield their daughters from the constant attention, a single leak from the English press has shattered their careful strategy. And what makes this revelation particularly explosive is that it doesn't just concern the king and queen, it centers on the youngest of their two daughters, Infanta Sofía. At just 17 years old, Sofía has grown up in the limelight, though always slightly in the shadow of her elder sister, Princess Leonor, the heir to the throne. The younger Infanta has often been portrayed as quieter, more reserved, and less politically significant in the eyes of royal watchers. But this summer, it is her name that has burst into international headlines, not for an official engagement, not for a royal appearance, but because her secret holiday destination has been laid bare for all the world to see. According to the leaked report, Infanta Sofía's getaway location is no longer a mystery. While Casa has neither confirmed nor denied the story, the fact that such private information has emerged in a foreign press outlet has raised eyebrows and sparked outrage among royal insiders. It is one thing for adult royals to have their movements tracked, it is another for a teenager's personal travel details to be exposed without consent. For Queen Letizia, known for her fierce protectiveness over her daughters, this leak is undoubtedly a bitter blow. She has spent years trying to balance the demands of public life with the right to a normal adolescence for her girls. Now, with a single press article, that protective bubble has been punctured. What makes the situation even more sensitive is the context of the royal family's summer this year. For the first time in years, the family was looking forward to a season without the usual protocol-heavy schedule in Majorca. Traditionally, the Spanish royal family spends part of their summer on the Balearic Island, where photographers flock to capture every possible image. While these appearances are framed as a family tradition, they are also, in truth, a carefully choreographed public relations exercise. But this year, Felipe and Letizia had opted for a different approach, limiting public moments and prioritizing private time away from Spain's shores. It was supposed to be their little rebellion against the endless demands of royal duty. The leak of Sofía's destination does more than just disrupt the family's peace, it reignites a heated debate in Spain about the media's treatment of young royals. While the country's press generally observes an unwritten code of restraint when it comes to minors, foreign outlets are under no such obligation. This creates a loophole, one that can be exploited to publish details that Spanish media might consider off-limits. In this case, the English press acted first, and the ripple effect is now being felt across Europe. Within hours of the leak, Spanish newsrooms were buzzing, torn between the ethical question of protecting the infanta's privacy and the irresistible lure of a story that their readers would devour. Behind palace gates, the mood is said to be tense. Sources close to Casa have hinted at deep frustration, not only because the leak undermines their carefully maintained image of control, but because it exposes vulnerabilities in how the royal family's privacy is safeguarded. For years, Felipe and Letizia have sought to modernize the monarchy, opening up in certain areas while drawing firm lines in others. They have allowed the public to see official moments with their daughters, carefully curated and often accompanied by their own official photographers. But they have also been unyielding in keeping the girls' private lives, friendships, and personal trips away from public view. This breach challenges that boundary in the most public way possible. For Infanta Sofía herself, the impact could be more personal. She is at a formative age, preparing for her future role, whatever shape it may take within or outside the monarchy. She has already experienced the pressures of life under scrutiny, but this incident serves as a stark reminder that her life is not entirely her own. Even the smallest attempts at normality, a trip abroad, time away with friends, can become fodder for global headlines. And unlike her sister Leonor, who has been meticulously prepared for her destiny as queen, Sofia's future is less defined. Some see her as freer to carve her own path, perhaps even outside Spain, but the reality is that her royal status will follow her no matter where she goes. It is worth noting that this is not the first time privacy concerns have shadowed the Spanish royal family. Over the years, moments of relaxation have been interrupted by uninvited photographs, overheard conversations, and opportunistic leaks. Yet the stakes feel higher now, partly because public sentiment towards the monarchy is fragile. In a climate where every action of the royals is dissected, be it their spending, their travel, or their political neutrality, stories like this can fuel larger narratives about their relationship with the public and their right to privacy. Supporters argue that even royals deserve moments out of the spotlight, especially when minors are involved. Critics, however, question why a taxpayer-funded family should be entitled to secrecy about their whereabouts, particularly when such trips may involve state resources for security. Adding fuel to the fire is the fact that the leak came from outside Spain, suggesting that the family's security protocols may be airtight at home but more vulnerable when they cross borders. International travel brings different jurisdictions, different rules, and different risks. For the English press, a teenage royal on vacation is a headline waiting to happen. For the Spanish monarchy, it is a cautionary tale about the limits of their control in the modern media landscape. Even as the storm brews, the palace has remained silent, refusing to confirm or elaborate on the report. This silence is both strategic and telling. By refusing to comment, they avoid validating the leak and potentially encourage restraint from the domestic press. Yet the very absence of an official statement leaves the public to speculate, and speculation is a fire that burns fast in the digital age. Social media has already lit up with theories, ranging from sympathy for Sofia to criticism of the family's travel choices. Hashtags tied to the Infanta's name have begun trending, making it nearly impossible for her to escape the glare of attention, even if she never logs onto a single platform. For Queen Letizia, this episode will likely reaffirm her instincts to guard her daughter's privacy with renewed vigilance. Known for her sharp intelligence and meticulous planning, she will no doubt view this as a lesson in the evolving challenges of royal life. For King Felipe, it is another reminder that being a modern monarch means living under constant observation, whether by adoring subjects, skeptical critics, or foreign tabloids eager for their next scoop. And for Infanta Sofía, this may be the moment she fully grasps the paradox of her position, a young woman with all the privileges of royalty, and yet, none of the anonymity that most people her age take for granted. As this chapter unfolds, one question hangs heavily over Zarzuela Palace: how can a royal family balance their public duties with the right to private family moments in an era where the very concept of privacy is under siege? Perhaps the answer lies not in finding a perfect solution, but in accepting that, for the modern royals, every summer escape will always be shadowed by the possibility that the world is watching. And in that reality, every leak, no matter how small, is more than just a story about a vacation. It is a glimpse into the delicate, complicated dance between monarchy, media, and the public they serve. As the spotlight intensifies on this unexpected breach of privacy, the Spanish royal family finds itself navigating a minefield of public scrutiny and media frenzy. What once might have been a quiet family retreat has turned into a complex moment of reflection on the vulnerabilities inherent in modern monarchy. Felipe and Letizia, seasoned in the art of balancing public life and private moments, now face a new reality, where even the smallest personal details can be weaponized or sensationalized across borders. The incident also spotlights the contrasting approaches to royal privacy seen around the world. While many European monarchies maintain strict guidelines protecting their younger members, the Spanish royal family's experience reveals how globalization and interconnected media ecosystems challenge these norms. The leak serves as a harsh reminder that in an era of smartphones, instant sharing, and international news networks, controlling information is a Sisyphean task, even for royalty. More so, this episode underscores the evolving role of Infanta Sofía within the royal narrative. Once seen merely as the younger sibling to the future queen, Sofía is increasingly becoming a figure of public interest in her own right. Her choices, movements, and experiences now invite greater scrutiny, inviting debates on what it means to grow up royal in the 21st century. How does a teenager reconcile the expectations of duty and tradition with the desire for independence and normalcy? The pressure is immense, and the stakes, unprecedented. This tension between tradition and modernity is not lost on King Felipe VI and Queen Letizia. Their reign has been marked by efforts to modernize the monarchy, making it more relatable while respecting its centuries-old heritage. Yet, incidents like these expose the cracks in even the most carefully crafted facades. Privacy is not just a personal matter, it has become a strategic element in royal diplomacy and public relations. A single misstep or leak can have ripple effects, impacting public support for the monarchy at large. The royal family's silence following the leak is telling. By not addressing the story directly, they attempt to regain control of the narrative and discourage further speculation. However, silence can be a double-edged sword. It leaves space for rumors to grow unchecked and may fuel the public's curiosity even more. The palace's communications team is likely weighing every possible consequence, balancing transparency with discretion, hoping to protect the family's dignity without igniting further controversy. Meanwhile, the public reaction reveals a complex mixture of empathy and criticism. Many Spaniards express sympathy for Sofia's loss of privacy and the unfairness of constant media attention at such a young age. At the same time, there are voices questioning why the royal family expects privacy in an age when their lives are so intertwined with national identity and public funding. This debate reflects broader societal questions about accountability, privilege, and the evolving nature of monarchy itself. Security concerns add another layer to the issue. The leak raises questions about how information about royal movements is handled, especially when traveling abroad. In a world where threats can come from many directions, protecting a royal minor's whereabouts is a serious matter. The breach suggests vulnerabilities that must be addressed to safeguard not only the family's privacy but also their personal safety. As this story continues to unfold, it serves as a microcosm of the challenges faced by modern monarchies worldwide. The delicate balance between public interest and private rights is increasingly difficult to maintain. The Spanish royal family's experience shines a spotlight on these tensions, highlighting the human side of royalty, the fears, frustrations, and hopes that exist behind the pomp and ceremony. Ultimately, this moment may serve as a catalyst for change. It could push Casa to reconsider its strategies around privacy and communication, adapting to the realities of a hyper-connected world. For Infanta Sofía, it may mark a turning point in how she manages her public and private identities. And for the public, it offers a rare glimpse into the personal challenges faced by those born into the spotlight. In the end, this story is about more than just a leaked holiday destination. It is about the evolving relationship between a royal family and the world that watches them, a world where the boundaries between public and private blur ever more, leaving everyone to question what a royal life truly means in today's digital age. So now, as the whispers around Infanta Sofía's holiday swirl and the Spanish royal family braces for yet another test of their resolve, we are left to wonder, will this moment change how they approach their future summers, or will it be just another reminder that, in the 21st century, there is no such thing as a truly private royal getaway?